Hi guys, welcome to another video from me, Rich Cove. Today we're going to do a conversation with Tony Lee Glenn. As you can see, there's Tony.
Hey.
We just wanted to share some stuff with you. I was going through some old stuff the other day, some old video, and it's actually 5 years this week that I first visited Tony in North Carolina. So tell me a little bit about what it was like, Tony, waiting at the airport that day.
Well, yeah, because we had known each other, what, Rich, about a year and a half? Have we been talking that long? Yeah, something
about
like that.
2013, I think, wasn't it?
2013, something like that. I remember because I had just started the YouTube channel maybe a year earlier than that. Or maybe I had a YouTube channel. I maybe put one video there, but I kind of started ramping it up. And I'd been doing driving videos. I remember one night I'm going on there, and here's comments from you, and you enjoyed these driving videos I'd been doing. And then you reached out to me about Skyping. I never Skyped, I don't think. I'm trying to remember if I had or not. But anyway, maybe at work once or twice. And then we just became kind of fast buddies there, talking about videos. And then you know, it happened. You're going to have, I think, Karen was going to Australia. Is that right? Was she?
No, she went to Tenerife.
Now, where is that?
In Spain, near Spain.
Oh, in Spain. Okay, she was going on a trip.
Yeah.
That for some reason wasn't going to include you, and you decided to do a trip that didn't include her, and come here to America for a couple weeks. You had 2 weeks, and I remember we planned that for a long time. It was like 6 months or something. We talked about it, didn't we?
We did.
And your question was, what was it like? It was you know, we were happy to have you come, and we were looking forward to it. But at the same time, we didn't know what your expectations would be. I remember I talked to you a lot about what you'd done in America before, and you'd been here a number of times, but typically it had been for like going to Orlando or someplace. I think did you say you'd been out west one time? Did you go out?
Mostly that, like Orlando. I've been out to Cleveland and Detroit did that, but mainly Florida, Miami. Down on the Keys, those sort of places. And
you know, people here in North Carolina, we know that is the South, but it's not like the real. The reason we say the real South, I mean, I don't want to. You know, Florida is its own little world down there, man. It's nothing's quite like that Panhandle down in Florida, and it's a very international place. It's a place where a lot of people go for vacations. It's a very commercialized place. Of course, there's a lot of great people in Florida, and there are a lot of more country type. But you know, I guess what I'm getting at is I knew you had not been to a state like Georgia, North Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, South Carolina. Places like that are a totally different kind of lifestyle, and so we didn't know what you were going to expect. We didn't know how we were going to entertain you. I knew there were 1,000 things you could do, and we had talked about the things that you could do and that we could see while we're here. I mean, you could spend a year here, and I could really take you to all kinds of crazy places, and we could do all kinds of interesting things within 150 miles of where I live. But we only had 2 weeks, and it was April. Was it April? Was it late March?
Yep.
And so, yeah, we'd done a lot of planning, and I remember we got you over here. I know you were a bit jet-lagged. You were tired. It was very cool to meet you. We had our GoPros going. It was just a great excitement to have a friend from England to coming over. I mean, it's, you know, you're... To us over here, it's like you're from another world, you know, because you know, we have in our mind what we think England is, and it's based on stuff we've seen on BBC and period dramas and comedies and everything from you know, what we used to watch, Hill, Benny Hill, is that his name?
Oh, Benny Hill, yeah.
Everything from that to what is it? John Cleese and all used to be in Monty Python to Sense and Sensibility and you know, The Office and stuff we've watched over there over here to try to understand what you guys are, and we were just, there's a bit of, I guess, fear, and I remember when you first came, you were tired, and you really just wanted to come here. We didn't know what your angle was, Rich. Nikki and I, we wondered, you know, what is this about? Is he really wanting to know about what North Carolina's like, what America's like? What a different, you know, how do we maximize his time while he's here? And by about the second or third night, we were worried that you just weren't enjoying yourself. And I remember Nikki pulled me aside. She says, it seems like he just wants to chill a little bit. Why don't you just let him chill and just be and discover what it's like really to be here and to live here. And I think she told me, she said, I think you need to settle down and stop worrying about getting him from here to there and doing all this stuff and whether he's having a good time or not, and just let Rich experience this and be. And so that's from that point on, that's what I did. And from then on, we sort of started to have a really great time. I think we started just doing those normal things that I do every day, going to the dump, I remember we went to one of my guitars needed repair, and we went to someplace way out in the boonies that did these awesome custom guitars, and so we went out there to see their place and to pick up one of my guitars or drop it off or something, and you just started seeing what real life in North Carolina was like. And now I'm going to bat this back over to you. So we had our fear and we're trying to figure things out. But what was going through your mind when this whole adventure started?
I don't know. I think a bit like you. I was just that excited to experience meeting you, meeting Nikki, and just experiencing a different part of America. Really, I'd never been to North Carolina, never knew much about it apart from what you'd told me about it. So I was just really looking forward to coming over, and I think Nikki was right, just chilling and just doing some things. We went to the dump on the first day. I think I was there. We went down to the dump, dropped off the rubbish and stuff. Then we did like Best Buys and Walmart and just chilled out, went for lunch. Those sorts of things is what I was planning to do. I don't need to see loads of different things and experience lots of different things. I'd just rather experience the here and now and what's going on rather than trying to create something that maybe isn't necessarily real life. I'd just rather be doing something that's, I remember even just sitting on the back porch, just looking over your land down the bottom into Charlotte. Now I could do that all day and just chilled out, watch the hummingbirds, just experience the nature of it. So it was good. We went up to the mountains. We went up into the bit where we walked a lot, Tony. I can't remember what it was. We went to the waterfall and we did some tests on a floaty GoPro thing.
Yeah. That was a place called South Mountain State Park, which is, people in North Carolina know about it. It's the largest state park in North Carolina, and we did a hiking day, and I remember now the thing, I didn't have 2 weeks of vacation. I had actually at that point I was working in Asheville, and I think I only had maybe 5 or 6 days of vacation. So I told you there'd be some days you'd have to just hang out while I work, and I actually took you on one of my freelance jobs, and we went down which was a trip. It was a weird kind of experience there, but it was for me too. So I do all kinds of just bizarre freelance things, but that one was an unusual one. Took Rich, and Rich was my gear guy that day, helping me haul gear around, and it was a video shoot. And I remember we went to Asheville one day just so you could see what Asheville was like. The weather wasn't always great, and I'm kind of glad you saw that, because it's although we have a lot of great weather here, it's on again, off again, and it was I just remember shooting pellet guns out in the yard and just starting to chill out and have some fun. I don't think I've ever posted those videos where we shot apples and oranges and stuff and just pulverized them with pellets.
I remember when we did the freelance job down, I think it was in Charlotte. Yeah. We went to, I think that was the same day we went to the airport overview road.
Yep.
That I don't even think you knew existed.
Well, I knew it. I knew it was there. I did not know where it was, and I knew it was there because when I was a little boy, I grew up in Charlotte. That's something else I was raised ultimately from grade school on up in the high mountains, but my dad was a terminal manager for a place called Bowman Trucking, and so he was down. We were down in Charlotte in the '60s, And so I can remember Dad and me and Mom and Dad going, and we went to that same place. I guess it was the same place. And I can remember watching the big aircraft and stuff taking off when I was maybe 4 or 5 years old. So I had been there, but just for you to say, hey, take me to that, I would have no idea. I remember we had to Google it, and we found the right road to get over there. So it's interesting. I was learning some things about North Carolina myself when you were here, stuff that I just wouldn't think to do. But that was so awesome. And then when Karen and Ethan came back, we went over there again. But yeah, you opened my eyes to for instance, we have hummingbirds, and they're just now coming back. We saw our first one yesterday, and I had grown accustomed to seeing the hummingbirds, but then Rich was pretty fascinated with hummingbirds and cardinals. I remember it became a kind of a quest to get your camera gear set up where you could record some cardinal video and stuff, and they would hide from us. So it was to me it was fascinating to see what is it that Rich finds interesting about this place, and what is it that's kind of special that just goes right past me. I see it every day. I don't even appreciate it. So that for me was one of the cool things about you being here. That's one of the things that it just opened my eyes to start looking at things and appreciate them. Now I look more closely at cardinals, and I watch the hummingbirds more carefully and stuff like that than what I used to do.
I can't believe it's 5 years. It's amazing that time has gone that quickly. But it was an amazing time. I enjoyed every minute of it. It was hard to leave.
Yeah, we had a great time. I remember when you did leave, Nikki said, he was here for 2 weeks, but sort of miss him. It's sort of like I got used to him. and she enjoyed cooking for you. She enjoyed the fact, we didn't. That's the other thing we didn't know is, would you like the kind of food that we cook here in the South? And you ate whatever we put in front of you and seemed to appreciate it, and that that meant a lot to Nikki. And of course, I think she's a great cook. But I remember you'd sometimes you just chill out and play your some video games and stuff that you had on your Mac. And that was cool because I started realizing I don't have to be entertaining Rich all the time. Crap, I'm going to sit back here and take a nap and watch some TV. And I remember we had the big chair, the big pillow chair that we have, and you just lay back there in that pillow chair and play some games. And I think Nico would climb up on you. The pug, we had the pug then, so the pug took to Rich pretty enthusiastically.
He used to come and wake me up in the mornings.
Yeah.
So he used to come in and snort.
The thing I think is so interesting about your visit, and how many times do you meet somebody on YouTube from the other side of the planet, or at least a third of the way around the planet, and they come to your house and it works. After that short period of just figuring each other out, it worked. And Nikki said, "What a great house guest he was. I'll welcome him back anytime." So that was a pretty cool thing. And then again, walking around you, just seeing like trips to Lowe's, trips to Walmart, stuff. The comments people would say, I said, "Hey, here's my buddy from England," and that was such a novel thing to people, and particularly the ladies would like to hear Rich talk, and so I'd trot out his accent, and he could talk to them a bit.
Yeah, I could have been married a few times, I think.
Yeah, probably so. And I remember we went up one day and we shot rifles and stuff with my brothers, and they were quite impressed that Rich was a great marksman. There's certain skills you have to be really good. Like you were busting these. We had 2-liter bottles from 200 yards with a 223 rifle. And you have to breathe just right. You have to settle in. You have to concentrate, pull the trigger very calm and carefully. And Rich did those things. I see Karen back there. And, it was like I think my brothers were impressed to see that guy's a natural. He could be stone cold Rich Cove.
Maybe Karen's rearranging the kitchen.
That is all right. Karen, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you, Tony.
It's good to see you back there, even if it's just for a fleeting moment.
Yeah,
There she is, the lovely Miss
hello.
Cove. What are you
lovely.
What are you getting ready to cook there?
Oh, well, he's supposed to be doing tea, but he's sat chatting to you, so I thought one of us better get tea out sorted.
I'll be in trouble later.
Yeah, you keep out the way. You'll be in trouble.
Good job this isn't being recorded like it is.
Oh,
That's
is
okay.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, I'm not. I don't include this bit.
I
Sorry,
think it's going to go on the
off.
Rich Cove video channel and perhaps the Tony Lee Glenn channel. So,
Video bombed.
is that pasta sauce you have there?
It is, yes.
Yeah, Nikki's cooking spaghetti in here. Isn't that a? That's a
there you go.
coincidence,
Both
right? We're
having
both
pasta.
enjoying some spaghetti today, perhaps, or something.
Oh, Hendrix is really lovely.
Yeah, let me show you the
He's
new
really
and
cute.
improved grown version. He's just chilling on the floor. But
Oh,
he's
look
much
at him.
larger dog than the last time we put him on the. There's
Wow, you're growing fast.
He's huge.
He's lovely,
His
isn't he?
paws are big. He's going to be probably about a third again bigger than this. He'll be a pretty good sized dog when it's all over.
Yeah.
With. All said and
Oh, he's
done.
very cute.
Yeah, he's pretty sweet when he's asleep.
I was going to say, try and see if you can convince Rich to have a dog, but don't think we'll manage it somehow.
He's-
Anyway, look, I'm going to go off and cook some tea. It's nice to see you.
All
Take
right,
care.
it's
Give
good
love
to see you
Nikki.
too, Karen. All right. What we were talking about? We did a series of live. That's the first time I'd actually been YouTube live, I think, too. Was you who started me doing that, and that was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Yeah, I really enjoyed doing that. Actually, I think we did one sort of every other night when I was there.
Yeah.
And it was good just to have a few people that I'd met through your channel, and you'd met people through my channel, and people like Daryl and Danny Fife and Mike
Mike,
down in Florida.
Mike,
Grunt Hunter, he was called,
Mr.
wasn't he?
Grunt Hunter. Yeah, he hunts pigs.
CCTV.
Yeah,
That was another one. Fried Tuck.
Friar Tuck. Yeah, and I never hear his name's Jason. I ended up meeting him later. I don't hear from Jason much. Jason, but he's I think we're friends on Facebook. Almost everybody that reached out to us then still I still see him. The guy Fishy Comics guy and
Fishy.
Matt from Matt's Big Dream. I think Matt was started watching us pretty early. And I'm trying to think who else was there. There were a bunch of folks there. Tom, what's Tom's last name? Some guy named Tom. Really cool guy. Anyway, yeah, that was you opened up that door to me too. And I don't do enough live stuff. Should do it more, but there again, I'm afraid people would just be bored to find out how simple my life is. And I do a lot of YouTube videos, but unless it's something I designed, some real purpose I have in doing it, I don't think anybody just want to chat with me. Maybe I'm wrong on that.
Yeah, I should do more live stuff. I don't tend to, and maybe now it might be a bit more important to do a bit more of it during that we're all locked down. But anyway, I think the 5 years, like I said, has gone really fast. I think that some of the best things that I did when I was there was one, just sit in your house and chill out and have Chinese.
Yeah.
Go and shoot guns in the mountains. We went to the shooting range and I shot there.
Yeah, we did.
I'd never done that before. Those were the good things. Even just sitting down and turning the cameras off and just you and I having conversations. Some of that was good stuff. Sometimes it was just, right, we need to turn the cameras off and just chill out a bit.
Yeah.
What was your highlight? Did you have a highlight of it, or?
I think about, honestly, just meals. We would sit down from time. We'd get up in the morning. Nikki'd say, "I'm gonna go see if Rich is up yet." And she'd kind of poke around and see if you're in there. If were you stirring about, and she would cook some eggs and grits and things like that, toast and bacon, and we'd have jams and stuff out, jellies, and just getting to chill out and eat and talk. And you're right, and I think probably those times when we weren't necessarily trying to, the thing about it, I think both Rich and I, both of us, are just very real. When you see us on the videos, we're exactly what we are in real life too. So it's not anything different. We don't put on anything theatrical. At least I don't. I don't think Rich does either. He said he was just a very genuine person. And so there are those parts of your relationship with somebody you don't mind sharing on YouTube. And then there's just parts of it where you're just, because you're a buddy, getting to know you and getting to really know what you're about. And, we had done some of that through our Skype, but when you're there living with somebody for a little while, it's a totally different level. And just realizing, hey, that's a good guy. I'm glad he came over and visited with us. That was fun. And here again, 1,000 things can go wrong with that scenario. I don't know that I would advocate that everybody that gets a friend from another land gets together and tries that, but it worked for you and I. And I think because we'd Skyped for a long time and really talked pretty deeply, that I knew that I knew that it would be okay. But still, I did feel that pressure. Like, I want to make sure that I give him a great time while he's here. And but then for you, it was the whole thing was just let me come there and be the person I am, just in this new environment, and see what I can take home from it. And here again, Rich, you've already kind of said what you liked the best, but was that indeed kind of what worked for you? Because the reason I asked that, when you brought Karen and Ethan over, it was more like what I expected. That trip, because I knew they wanted to see a lot of stuff, and it's sort of like that trip was still a great trip. It was great to have them here, and it's great to get to know Karen and Ethan really a whole lot better. But that was more of the pressure type trip, wasn't it? We only had a week together, and we sort of had an itinerary of things we wanted to do, and it wasn't so much just chilling out. It was really trying to show them a whole lot of North Carolina in a fast amount of time. And we covered a lot of bases. It kind of contrasts those two trips if it's not weird to do that.
Yeah, I think the trip over was like, we'd been down in Florida for 2 weeks, and then we came up to you guys. And it was just, the trouble is with when we go on holiday, we tend to try and do things when you're as a family trying to keep Ethan entertained, 10-year-old kid trying to keep him entertained and interested in stuff. But also, when it's just me, it's a completely different trip.
Yeah.
It's just totally, we can get up, chill out. When Karen and Ethan was there, it was pretty, right, get up, right, what are we going to do today? Let's go and do this, let's go and do that. And there's a constant, like a holiday would normally be.
Yeah.
But I had no intentions of doing that when I came over to see you guys on my own. And hopefully I'll get to come over on my own again at some point. And then we can go and do other things and just chill out a bit more, because I'm familiar with the area now. And it'd be good to come back, just me, and go and do something else, do some different things again, but just chill out, really.
Yeah. I think your visit with us changed my attitude about what I might do if I came to England. The only time I've been to the UK, of course, was Scotland and Ireland, and I was on a very strict itinerary because I was doing it was a freelance work. It was a shoot for a golf magazine and video and photos, and we were just from this point to this point to this point to this point. It was rush, and archive your video and archive your photos and sleep a little bit and then move on to the next place. And I think if I ever get to come to England and visit you, I'm going to look to do it the way you did. I'd like to come and just take my time, just chill out and see what life in the UK is like. And I don't have to go to the Salisbury Plain and see Stonehenge. You've shown me that that's kind of a ripoff. And I don't have to necessarily bust my hump to get over to Buckingham Palace and stuff like that. It would just be cool to go to London one day or a couple of days or something, since you're 2.5 hours away, something like that.
Nah, well, it depends if you go in the traffic. It's only 70 miles, but
it's not too far.
It can take you 2.5 hours at the wrong time.
Yeah. But it would be cool to see the big city a little bit, but more than that, just hang out, go to the places you like to go to. Go out there and see the ocean and back out toward the Isle of Wight, right? It's out there close to you. I mean, yeah. To me, just places like that are interesting because there's the Isle of Wight festival that in America, particularly rock musicians, people that play guitar like me, we've seen all these concerts that were shot there, and to us that's like a magical place. That's like Red Rocks to people from around the world that come to America, or the Met or something like that. The Isle. Wow, I'm gonna be in the Isle of Wight, and I know it's just an island, but it must be kind of cool to be close to there and to see those big not freightliners, but the big ocean vessels come in, because you live there in that big seafaring place. And it would just be awesome to see all that, and to go to the store with you. What's it like to go to a store in England, and what's it like to travel on those roads? To me, I want to do a trip just like what you did at some point, and it may be a year or two before we do that. My life's been in transition for the last 10 years, big time, and I've not had a lot of time to slow down. But at some point, it'd be cool to have a week and a half or something to take off and go and visit you guys. Fly out there. To me, it would do me a lot of good. And one of these days, I've not been to England, just Ireland and Scotland. Got to go to the big land. Now, I had a question: if we were to go over to Wales or something, just for the heck of going over there, how far is that? How far a drive is that? Is that another hour and a half, 2 hours?
Probably 2 hours. 2.5 hours, but it's an easier drive down. It's just down the M4. It's quite a nice place to visit.
Yeah, a lot of the shows we like to watch, the Poldarks and stuff like that, are shot in Wales. There's a new one called Hinterland. I don't know if you've seen that. It's kind of a crime drama thing, and it's shot, I think, in the northwest part of Wales there. Just interesting. Another place I thought, I used to watch Torchwood, which was a Doctor Who spin-off, and they were in Cardiff on that. So there's some, just be cool just to drive around and say, I've been to Cardiff, or I've been to London, or I've been to some of these places, and just, I don't even care if we do anything much. Just get out and just say, hey, yeah, wow, cool, I've been there at least. Been there and done a little bit of something. There's a music store called Anderton's in London that I'd like to, outside of London. And if I ever get over there, it would just be cool to visit it, because I love to watch their YouTube videos. So if anybody wants to check out something very cool, Anderton's Music, just look that up. It's pretty cool on YouTube. So, Rich, what else could we talk about that's really cool?
I don't know, I just think it was nice just to catch up about the 5-year anniversary of us meeting and spending that time together and really enjoying it. And, it will happen again at some point.
Yeah. Well, it is. As 5 years, it is hard to believe. It's been that long since you came and visited. But for at least almost 7 years now, you've been a part of Nikki and I, part of our life. And we talk about you. I know probably you and Nikki communicate through WhatsApp more than you and I do. Because to get to me, the best way is to go through her. So,
yeah, you're not good with your WhatsApp.
I'm terrible with keeping up with my social media, unless it's YouTube. So I'm kind of hard to get the attention of. And the other thing too, and as I've told you before, is I go to so many meetings where I have to silence things, and then I forget to unsilence it. And so it might go 2 or 3 days I'm on silence. I don't even pay attention to my messages. I'm not your archetypical social media guy. Yeah. Well, Rich,
cool.
you guys stay safe and just be careful and keep doing what you're doing. You guys look healthy and like you're getting along all right. And pray for Nikki and send some good well wishes her way, since we're faced with some difficulties here, and she's a respiratory therapist. Tell Ethan and Karen, God bless them and love them, and they're just two cool, incredible, interesting people to have in my life because of you.
I'll let Ethan know, seeing he asked you loads of questions.
yeah. Tell him I was asking about him, and that he's still. In my book, he could come to America, and within a year, he'd be a star athlete.
Okay, cool.
All right,
well, thanks for taking time to talk, Tony. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Rich. Thanks for being a real friend over these years.
And you.
The other thing I will say before we shut off is Rich is a mental health guy. And so I think the Lord put a mental health guy in my life because I definitely need that too. He's a great mental health guy.
And I needed to learn about video editing, so it all works out well.
All right. Friends, thanks for watching from my end. And if you've not subscribed to Rich, subscribe to Rich. I'll probably put a version of this video on my channel, probably a little different cut than what Rich has. But go to Rich Cove Photo. I'll look that up on YouTube. Great channel. A lot of just lifestyle in England and things that Rich has found interesting in gear and drone stuff and all kinds of things. And he's sort of the mishmash channel over there like I am here in America. So it's very much worth spending some time with Rich Cove. So go there and subscribe and ring that bell on his channel. And Rich, I'll let you end this thing.
Okay. So thanks for tuning in. It's great to catch up with Tony and talk about the 5-year anniversary. And you all take care and subscribe to his channel as well if you go over to Tony Lee Glenn. And make sure, I'll put a link in the description below. Big guy, he's a genuine guy. He's got some great videos and you'll enjoy watching every single one of them. You take care and have a great day.